Ayos
We're live
lang,
right now.
kamusta? Kamusta?
Mabuti. It looks like it's kind of a dreary weather. But it's all good.
Yeah. So,
So Ed, we'll take a look and see if anyone has any questions, either on YouTube or Facebook. Again, this
okay.
is primarily ang focus. I wanted to have this live streaming. Ang focus natin is for our kababayans
Okay.
because we may have some first generation immigrants and may have been here in the States a year or two. I'm sorry, I'm gonna speak in Taglish. May have been here, so we have one viewer right now that I can see. Na they may have been here a year or two. Tapos
Okay.
hindi pa nila masyadong kabisado on anong first steps to home ownership. I'll give you an example. I had a long journey in my personal experience. Dumating ako 1990 and then hindi ako bumili ng bahay. I bought my first condo in 1997. So it took me mga 7 years
Okay.
to be a homeowner. Tapos sa akin, my parents are nasa Pilipinas ang parents ko. So I didn't really have any parents or anyone to coach me on
Okay.
home ownership. So wala akong masyadong mga role models or wala akong information in essence to be able to learn about home ownership. Kaya
Okay.
I just it's my heart na share natin sa ating kababayan in our community
Sure.
around home ownership. So is that your burden as well?
Ah, marami kasing maraming myth out there na kailangan may ganito ka, kailangan you've been nag-job for 2 years, kailangan meron kang strong credit report, dapat
Mm-hmm.
meron kang money for a down payment. But that's not always the case. Like for the deal that we are doing right now,
Mm-hmm.
uh, she got here like 3 years ago, but she did not start working right away, so she doesn't have the 2 years of employment history.
Right.
If you're dealing with the loan officers that don't have a lot of experience, they will say right away, no, I cannot do that because she doesn't have a 2 years of employment history.
Mm-hmm.
But you can actually use work history from abroad. I mean, from the Philippines, or kung in your case you're a professional back home, so your college
Mm-hmm.
transcript. So that would answer the one issue there, yung college pwede mong gamitin siya in lieu of the work history.
Yan, hindi ko alam yan. That's new information para sa akin.
So, yeah, kasi kunyari, let me give you an example. And it works both sa Pilipinas at dito. Let's say you just graduated from college, last year, and then you just started working. I can use your transcript as to in lieu of the employment history. So kahit 3 months, 4 months ka pa lang, I can use the college transcript so that I can use your income right away. So, ganun din sa Pilipinas. So, as long meron legit, hopefully yung school is like
Mm-hmm.
na masi-search online like UP, as long na talaga siya, mabe-verify yung school papers. And then per down payment, even up to now, I'm still hearing that, oh, Edgar, kailangan ko ba ng 20%? Kasi yun ang naririnig ko eh.
Mm-hmm.
No, anywhere between 3% to 5%. I'm not really a fan of down payment assistance, as I mentioned that to you
Yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, I rather give a client a deep discounts with the pricing and fees versus try to force them to apply for a down payment assistance. And then with the credit score, I don't need a very high credit score. 580 and up, I can still do it with 3.5% down, and anything less than 580 credit score, that will require me to ask for maybe 10 or 15%.
Yeah.
So, sa pagbili ng bahay, Bobby, there's like three pies. Yung credit score, income, and then the assets. You don't need to have a perfect, do sa tatlo na yun. As long average or kung may problema, pwede mo ma-compensate yung isa.
Right.
So, Yeah, yun yung tatlo na yan. As long na familiar ka na doon, you can get a loan.
Yeah, absolutely. So kung pagdating sa trabaho, W-2s ba or US Form 1040? Anong mas has more weight in essence in terms of documentation?
There's a lot of programs out there that don't require you to provide 1040 tax returns. Kasi as much as possible, I don't want to provide them because it has more information, and kung maraming information, mas maraming pwedeng maging possible na problema
Yeah.
versus kung W2 lang straight lang yun na yun. Uh,
Mhm.
in fact, again, sometimes wala talagang W2 so yung pay stub lang okay na yun
Okay.
So, let me give you an example. Yun, same scenario. So, let's say graduate no March, nag-umpisa ng trabaho ng April, so obviously wala naman W2. So, yung pay stub lang, I can use the income right away. And that's, as long full-time yan, hindi siya part-time, has to be full-time employment.
Okay. Just to recap sa mga hindi nakakaalam, W-2 is just a year-end summary of a declaration in essence of income earned. Binibigay yan ng employer. So just for those viewers na hindi nila alam what a W-2 is. So
Yeah.
Ed, different topic, talking about down payment. Meron ka bang, I just don't know kung this is a common misconception din na ayoko magbayad ng PMI. I want to
Okay.
save then 20% of the down payment para hindi na ako magpabayad ng PMI. And then
Okay.
they're gonna wait 1 year or 2 years, and then we know, let's just say 4% home appreciation every year. Now yung bahay na gusto nila in 2 years has appreciated even just in 1 year. Merong the average homeowner, I saw the data, the average homeowner gained $60,000 in equity. So let's say nag-intay sila ng 2 taon. So that home that they were eyeing, ngayon magbabayad sila 120,000 more. They will pay $120,000 more for that house when in fact when they were trying to save maybe let's say 7,000 or 5,000 in PMI. So do you educate the home buyer as well in that regard?
Absolutely. Katulad mo, I'm a very number person too. So, I do the numbers with them. Kung mag-wait ka ng 3 to 4 years to save the 20%, and with, let's say, even with the very conservative of 5% na appreciation sa bahay, at $300,000 house, that's 15,000 per annum, assuming na straight lang yung interest natin. So, mga $45,000 yung na-loss mong possible equity.
Right.
Versus you just, and kung mataas naman ang credit score mo, the PMI I mean, for conventional, right now, meron akong pre-nice kanina, ang mortgage insurance lang niya is $45 a month. So, with conventional kasi walang upfront. With the FHA, meron talaga siyang the upfront PMI and then the monthly one.
Okay.
So,
Meron bang
yung
is there
conventional kasi, I'm sorry, yung conventional kasi, yung PMI niya is based on credit profile, not really on sa program itself. Versus
okay.
FHA, you can have a 700 credit score or 580 credit score, the PMI will be the same.
Okay. So that's new to me. Thank you for sharing that. At ano pang common misconceptions doon with our fellow kababayans?
So siguro yung dealing between a retail lender versus a broker like such myself. So ang advantage kasi, biruin mo ito yung I came from a retail side. So ang mga retail lenders, they don't disclose their profit margin. They just don't. For me, I disclose it so that I can sleep at night. I tell them kung ano profit margin ko, ito, lahat, everything. So, straight kung makikita nila doon yung cost kung beneficial ba o hindi. Plus, obviously, if you work with a retail lender, ang ibebenta lang nila sa iyo or the one that they will present it to you, yung product na binebenta nila. Unlike with a broker company like sa amin, uh, pwede kong benta yung pwede ko i-present yung marami akong products, hindi lang siya specific dito. So meron akong mga bank statement program, ITIN, meron ako 100% financing, although they are not I don't recommend them. As much as possible, gusto ko lang yung kliyente doon na sa traditional kasi pag once na maging creative na yung financing, without clients knowing, they are getting a hit sa rate. So let me give you an example. When someone is applying for down payment assistance, they are getting a rate hit. So it's either
Okay.
0.25, 0.5. It's all over the place. So I tell people, 3.5% save that if you can, and it's gonna be much easier for you, and you save more money in the long run.
Yep, absolutely. So let's step back a little bit. Meron akong term na rinig, ITIN.
ITIN.
Yeah, can you explain that a little bit more? Sa
So
mga
ITIN,
maybe.
there are people na wala silang social security. So they are working under the ITIN. It's tax identification number. Wala
Right.
hindi sila legally uh, uh, able to work here in the States, pero that's
Mhm.
really outside of our
Right, right. Mhm.
pero for to buy a house, they can buy a house, assuming that they meet all the other requirements, like more down payment kasi high risk yan eh.
Okay,
So most item they require anywhere between 15 to 25% down.
okay. Meron din, I think, meron tayong mga kababayan din. They're very entrepreneurial, katulad mo.
Okay.
They may, a year or two, they go business on their own.
Okay.
Paano mo sila matutulungan?
The problem with self-employed people, this is like across the board. They don't
Mhm,
declare, the income. And
mhm,
in a way, I understand them because who wants to pay taxes? But in return, pagka gusto na nilang bumili ng malalaking items, such as
mhm,
a real estate, nahihirapan
mhm.
sila. So, kung bibili sila ng bahay and they're not doing the right thing, ever since they need to talk to, accountant or me, na sabihin ko, you have to, I need to see at least 70, $80,000 income with no debts.
Right.
And you need to work with someone that knows the business. Kasi, let me give you an example. A truck driver, yung 1040 niya, uh, zero ang income. But I was able to get them a loan because some of the expenses can be rolled over back to the income so that may income sila.
Right.
So, kung yung ibang loan officer na they don't know how to read the Schedule C, they don't know how to read the 1040 na naka depende lang sila sa system kasi may mga system na nag-calculate na ng income eh, then that's a problem.
Mhm. Right. And yung mga investors then, at some point in time, I haven't really encountered na kababayan na they want to invest in like a multifamily. Meron ka bang mga products na ganun? Either a 2 flat or a 4 flat, gusto nilang bilhin, they want to make it a rental property. Pwede mo ba silang tulungan?
Oo. For kasi, are we talking about just the investor or anyone individual? Kasi pagka multi-units
Eh,
naman, you can do it FHA eh.
okay.
Ah, in fact, kung talagang yun ang gustong route ng kliyente na mag-invest, mag-build ng real estate portfolio, I recommend them to buy multi-units first before the single family. Kasi it's easy to buy another property kung nasa multi-units ka, and then to single family versus single family then another multi-units. Kasi
Okay.
mas madali mo ma-justify yung yeah, my family is getting bigger. I need a very good school district, so therefore I wanna buy another property. And mabibili mo pa rin siya as an owner occupied.
Oh,
Kasi
yeah, that makes sense. Mhm.
yung multi-units mo na, pwede mo na siyang i-convert sa investment property without touching the loans. Versus from
Okay.
multi-units and from single family, gusto mo bumili ng multi-units, it's gonna be hard to justify na natitira mo yun. And then therefore, it will require you to put 20% down.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah. So with the multi-units, I can still do 3.5% FHA, and I can use part of the rental income as an income to qualify for a loan.
Okay. So yung LTV in essence, I mean,
The
is
DTI,
that on the DTI calculation? Okay.
the DTI. Kasi kunyari yung one of the unit can be rented for 1,200, I can use that 1,200, or kung medyo hindi masyadong malakas yung file, I will just use 75%. And that $800 will roll over to client's income. So makakatulong yun sa DTI niya.
Yep, absolutely. Ed, I'm sorry, we just jump into questions right away, questions and answers. Paki, tell us who you are and then mga states na lisensyado ka.
Oh yeah, my name is Edgar. I'm one of the loan officer here at Rabbi Mortgage. I'm licensed in Illinois, state of Indiana, and possible California in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. In 2 weeks, huh?
In 2 weeks, it's a long process. Indiana took me 9 months.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
For
congratulations.
what was that?
I'm confident you will get the California license without any impediments. Walang problema.
Yeah, I used to practice in California kasi doon talaga original state ko. So I practiced there for about
Okay.
5 years doing real estate and mortgage before going
Mhm.
to a bank.
Mhm. Pero you've been in the business gano'n na katagal? For
Uh
people to know.
2004 as a realtor loan officer until the market crashed in 2009.
Yeah.
And then Chase Bank absorbed me. I worked there as a project analyst. So kami yung nag-underwrite ng mga condominiums project. So I know for a fact that 95% of condominiums are not FHA approved. So if you're buying
Mm,
so if you're an FHA borrower, I will say stay away from condominiums, because otherwise it's gonna take you forever. It may not happen, and it's gonna be very frustrating dahil gusto mo pero qualify ka as a borrower, but if the project itself is not approved, then you cannot do it.
yeah. Can I ask a question? Bakit mahirap mag-certify ang condo for an FHA?
Mahirap siya in the sense that there's FHA requires a lot of documents, and
Okay.
yung requirements talaga niya very tight. So, marami kasing condominium projects na hindi nami-meet yung guidelines, like yung reserve, yung investors concentration.
Okay.
Kunyari, let's say yung building is 110 units and then 60% of them are owned by a single entity or single person, then that's a very no-no.
Yeah. So Ed, anong natutunan mo back in 2008, and then lessons learned, and then what applications have you done in your business, if any, this time around?
I would say back then I was very aggressive. So kasi
Mhm.
bata ka pa eh. I was like 22, 23 years old, and then,
Mhm.
lahat, yeah, let's do it, let's do it. Pero ngayon siguro I am more on client-centered professional. Meaning to say, yung client interest talaga. Client interest
Mhm.
talaga. Saka
Mhm.
try to be conservative in a sense na kung hindi talaga kaya, hindi kaya. We can
Right.
be creative, we can find a way to close it, pero at the end of the day, you wanna disclose it na, boss, baka medyo mahal sa'yo to or baka mahirapan ka. Um,
Mhm.
I would recommend that you pay this off first or adjust your loan amount. But
Mhm.
again, at the end of the day, it's client's decision, pero I rather provide that information to them. Obviously, hindi ko rin
Mhm.
naman alam yung buong profile ng kliyente. Puwede kasing sabihin niya, "Oh, Edgar, don't worry about it. Meron kaming mga income na hindi namin nade-declare, or my daughter or my
Mhm.
sons are gonna graduate in college, makakatulong na siya ng payment." But other than that, I rather provide all the information, saka be conservative talaga. Saka i-teach mo, kunyari yung kliyente, very, very tight na yung number na alam mong it's just a
Mhm.
matter of walang, let's say, walang reserve, walang emergency fund, 6 months puwedeng foreclose yung bahay. I-guide natin na maayos kasi for me, I wanna see my clients na masaya. May bahay pero at the same time masaya versus may bahay nga pero they work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and then Edgar, bakit mo kung pinors bumili ng ganito na hindi ko
Right.
pala kaya.
Right. Right.
So it's sinabi ko nga yung review namin from sa Facebook, from sa Google review, we only have 5 stars review. Because we care about the clients. It's at my age, I can make more if I wanted to, but I don't want headaches. I want to see happy people.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel the same way as well. That's a philosophy na we aspire to kami ni Joan. And may ibang on a different topic, meron tayong ding, and this is actually typical. I don't think typical lang sa mga Filipino families. I think even Southeast Asian and even Indian families do this. Multi-generational yung living arrangement.
Yes.
So, ang ibig kong sabihin, let's say, and this is an example, nagrarenta their eldest daughter, nagrarenta, they're renting a place, and then kasama si nanay at tatay. And
Okay.
then she may want to purchase a property, let's say single detached home,
Okay.
pero di niya kayang konti. But si nanay at tatay, they were still okay with living in the same house.
Okay.
So the mom may need to help with the mortgage payment.
Okay.
How do you envision that making it happen? Okay naman sila, multi-generational, kasi okay naman sa atin yun, di ba?
Uh-oh.
We take care of our parents as much as we can. So
Okay.
if the daughter wants to purchase and then the dad helps with the mortgage a little bit,
Okay.
how do you make that happen? What's your experience on that one?
That's very common.
Mhm.
First, the parents or any family member can do a non-occupying borrower, co-borrower. So, nasa loan lang sila, but it doesn't mean that they need to occupy the property. So, especially kung may bahay na sila, it's hard to sell na, ba't bibili ka pa ng bahay? So, it's gonna be a non-occupying co-borrower. But I provide them all the information. Siyempre, sabihin ng parents, so kailan ko pwedeng tanggalin yung pangalan ko?
Right.
And then the question is, we'll go back to the daughter. Are you gonna start making more money in the future? Or are you planning to get married in the future? So, kasi pwede nating pwede tayong magpalit-palit ng co-borrowers as time goes by eh. Although we'll go
Okay.
through the same process pa rin. Pero in most cases, kasi eventually your income will continue to go up eh. And then kung disiplinado naman yung customer, the expenses should go down. So, a year after, pwede natin i-refinance. 6 months after, pwede mo na i-refinance yun and remove that co-borrower, assuming that you're okay na by then.
So, the co-borrower typically, hindi kasama sa, they're not on the title, then ganun ba yun?
No, normally kasama yan. Kasi underwriter will not agree to that na nasa loan, then wala sa title. And then, obviously, kahit pa magkapamilya, you want your name on the title as well, kasi kung ikaw lang nasa loan tapos wala kang pag-aari sa bahay, possible problem in the future. Although I see some people na nag-quit claim deed after na mag-close, pero I would not.
Yeah, correct. Mas madali yung mag-quit claim. Yep, absolutely. I'm trying to come up with other scenarios, Ed. Yeah, pwede ba, okay, here's another situation. Okay ba sa'yo kung mag-co-sign ang nanay at tatay? Or was that the same scenario we just talked about?
Okay lang naman, as long na sila, okay sila sa family. Kasi at the same time, marami rin ako nakikita nagiging problema in the future eh. Let's say hindi mabayaran ng anak yung bahay, masisira yung credit ni nanay at ni tatay.
Right.
Tapos kung duman sa litigation, baka maapektuhan yung pension, yung 401k. So there's other issues other than doon sa pagbili ng bahay. So kailangan talaga from the beginning aware sila sa mga pwedeng mangyari.
Right. And you're able to, I mean, you don't have any reservations na i-explain yung ganong na potential scenarios?
I will provide those information as a regular consumer or a friend.
Mhm,
That's more. I don't want to cross the legal issues there. Di ba? I don't want to advise anything
mhm.
na ma-accuse ako na practicing law. So I
Right,
would just tell them na eto mga possible na ano, but I mean, talk to your lawyer. But other than that, I will not advise them. I will provide the information for sure.
right. So just due diligence
General
na
information.
frame it na hindi ako abogado but here are the possible scenarios.
So,
And
yeah,
wala
kunyari
tayo,
ganito
yeah.
ito mangyayari, 'di ba? Mamaya kasi sabi ni Edgar, eh.
Nakita ko sa YouTube. For some reason, meron na people are watching us and then they log off. Pero wala tayong questions here. I'm checking. Wala pa rin tayong questions. At ano pang ibang typical kind of scenario na unique sa mga kababayan natin? What other typical scenarios na mukhang at face value, mukhang mahirap, mukhang hindi pwede, pero nagagawan mo ng paraan? Ano pa yung ibang scenario?
I would say yung mga caregiver, mahirap
Mhm.
talaga. I mean,
Oh,
if
that's
you're
hard
gonna ask
work.
me kung talagang gagawin ko, I mean, kung may option akong wag, hindi ko gagawin.
Okay.
Like, I would say like 6 years ago, I did a loan for a family of caregivers.
Mhm.
'Di ba, kasi yung isa kasi ang ginagawa na yun nagtatrabaho sa agency, ngayon 'pag namatay yung pasyente nila, kliyente, they move to another agency.
Okay.
So, within 2 years, I believe etong tatlo na 'to, total of 22 agencies
Oh,
na
wow.
pinasukan.
Mhm.
So, imagine kung gaano karaming W-2s yun and ang daming letter of explanation. "Oh, Edgar, bakit may W-2 ako dito ng ganito, may W-2 na naman ng ganyan, may W-2 ako ng ganyan." Kasi explain mo
Mhm.
bakit, eh. Hindi
Right.
naman kasi sa normal 'di ba, sa regular na trabaho, ma
Job
magtatrabaho ka, then
hopper
you will
yung
you will
tingin.
resign and then you move to another company, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Eto hindi. They are all active sa lahat ng employment nila.
Right.
Kasi they don't resign, they don't yung employment ano nila, status nila hindi naman terminated, eh. They just move from one agency to another, 'pag namatay balik
From
na
one
naman.
patient to another, correct.
So, mahirap siya in a way kasi you have to explain and obviously underwriters are not familiar with gano'ng setup. Hindi naman
Mhm.
nila nakikita lahat 'yun. So, that one I have to do a lot of letter of explanation. I have to structure it talaga.
Right.
So, marami pa. So, 'yun yung number one. Tapos number 2
Mhm.
siguro yung mga credit score na from 400 plus,
Mhm.
ah nagagawa ng paraan na umabot ng 600 and then, as long the client is okay to roll the dice, I roll the dice and then close it. Most of the time naman nako-close ko siya as long that the client is being honest and,
Right.
wala ng ibang sikreto. Obviously
Mhm.
pagka you start sending me wrong information or wrong documents, then that becomes a problem. So, sa karamihan ng mga lenders anytime na above 50% na yung DTI, it becomes an issue. But for me, even at 60-63, hindi ko sasabihin I will pre-approve them at 60-63 na DTI, but I will find a way to lower the DTI so that we can still close. Kasi
Right.
sometimes it's just a matter of looking at the whole package and not just the number of DTI na 30 over 63 and then that's it. Marami
Right.
namang ways to lower the DTI talaga.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Pero hindi lang sa Pilipino, ha. I
So,
don't wanna generalize, pero itong napansin ko, ha. 'Pag nandito na tayo sa US, mahilig tayo sa kotse. Ba bagong kotse. And not
uh
just unfortunately, it's not just our kababayans actually, it's across the board. Pero I
yeah.
think mga Amerikano for the most part, we fall in love with our cars and a $500-$600 car payment, we think it's normal. Pero you're saying it impacts a lot of people's DTI, 'di ba?
Yeah, marami akong minsan I try to do extra work, let's refinance the car, get along,
Mhm.
pabain natin yung term so that the DTI will be lower or kunyari let's say 14 months na lang yung yung
Car loan.
payment,
Mhm.
we're going to accelerate yung yung pagbabayad kasi pag less than 10
Right.
months na lang yung car, I can exclude that from the DTI.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
Pero hindi mo siya pwedeng i-prepay. Pwede mo siyang i-advise yung kliyente na yan, then you redo the application so that hindi lumalabas na prepay na ginawa mo intentional. But it's perfectly legal.
So it's not you won't advise someone to prepay then.
I will tell them to prepay and then talk to me 2 months after so that I can repull
Okay.
the credit. Kasi otherwise, the credit, if we're going to use the old credit report, it's still gonna show 12 months. Uh, i-repull ulit natin. Oh, Edgar, nabayaran ko na. Ito, ganyan. Tapos i-repull natin. So,
That's
maraming
good.
maraming ways. Yung iba
Yeah.
naman, pinapa-refinance ko to remove that customer's information para kunyari, ay Edgar, bibili ako, kaya lang may kotse ako, ganito. So may asawa ka ba? May kapatid ka ba? Have them trade into your car so that you don't have that
Mhm.
liabilities. So that
Yeah.
number one, your score will go up, and number two, that will help your DTI.
Yeah, absolutely. So if people haven't picked it up, if you for those hopefully people will listen to this video in its entirety. Napansin niyo si Edgar is very solution oriented and at face value kung mayroong problema, gagawa niya ng paraan to the best that he can and it's very solution oriented. The problems that it doesn't face or scare you in essence is what I'm seeing, Edgar, just listening to you and I've even the experience that I have had with you you work out solutions.
I have to kasi as a loan officer, people pays me, 'di ba?
Mhm.
You don't wanna pay me that much. Although you don't actually, the customer don't pay me directly. It's everything's
Mhm,
blended.
mhm.
So you don't wanna hire someone that yung tinatawag namin paper pusher lang na
Right.
okay, kinuha yung documents, nilipat dito, then you declare your approval. No, you need someone
Mhm.
that will think, someone that knows the guidelines. In fact, sa sobrang dami ng files na puro may hirap ang naano ko, I always have a fight with the underwriters. I fight with them. I throw them books. Yeah, yung FHA manual 4000.1, it's like 13-1400 pages.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I may not know all of them, pero I think I know majority of them na alam kong pwede kong gamitin to fight the underwriter. So, I used to be an underwriter myself din naman kasi. So, I know what they are looking for. So, kung ang credit score is 580, 590, 600, I don't just send them as is. Kumbaga
Mhm.
sa Bobby, is I I put makeup on it to make it look beautiful.
Mhm.
So, hindi ko siya sasubmit ng as is. Sabihin
Right.
ko, "Oh yeah, 580 siya pero kita mo naman meron siyang reserve o been a job for 10, 15, 20 years. I'll find a way para maging strong yung file versus you kasi kung ang credit score 590 and so much collections and so much late payments sa credit report, underwriter will not find a way to approve it. Underwriter will find a way to decline the file.
Right.
So, you're on the other side of the court. You have to make it look good para yung underwriter, alam niyo yun, bilhin niya yung gusto mo mangyari.
Right. Right.
So, yun yung you wanna work with someone that knows the guidelines and not just know the loan. Talagang yung guidelines
Hindi
niya.
yung talagang paper pusher lang.
Oo, kailangan alam niya yung guidelines na, okay,
Mhm.
kunyari, let's say may late payment sa installment loans. Installment loans means is yung car loan, student loan, personal loans. So let's
Mhm.
say refer siya or manual underwriting. gagawan ko ng paraan yun para maging approve eligible. Otherwise, that file will go through hell, talagang dadaan yun. So, mas gusto ko na may late payments ka sa credit cards versus sa mga installment loans. So, marami. It's just kaya minsan yung mortgage process is more than the pay stub, more than the W2s and credit report. There's more into that.
Yeah,
Yung
it
behind the
sounds
scenes
to me it's
talaga.
like solving a puzzle. Hindi lang, okay, send me your documentation. Let's see, let's crunch the numbers if they make sense. It's more like solving a puzzle.
Correct. And then sometimes makikita mo siya, 'di ba, strong, good credit score, good ganito, good ganyan. Pero pagka tiningnan mo yung bank statement, a good underwriter will check the bank statement, not just the balance. So titingnan nila, bakit kaya consistent to nagta-transfer ng ganito, 600 a month. Pero wala naman sa credit credit report. So, dang. So kung yung loan officer is medyo talagang nire-review bago dumating yung bank statement na yun sa underwriter, nire-review mo na yun. O meron ka 600 na transfer, ano to? Utang ko yun sa kapatid ko. No. You need to provide me another bank statement. Kasi
Okay.
meron kang undisclosed debts eh.
Right.
So, bakit meron kang $400 na transfer sa ganyan? Meron akong child support. Another issue.
Right.
So, ganun.
So Ed, hopefully ang kababayan natin, they can review this video both on YouTube and also I'll make this public on my personal Facebook page. For some reason, I couldn't tie this to my business page, but hopefully our kababayans can rewatch this video. Baka meron pa silang tanong. Ed, how can people get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Thank you, Bobby, for this conversation. Very fun. This is the first time that I did it. But anyway, our fellow kababayan can reach me at my cell number directly, 773-656-5423, or go to my website rabbimortgage.com.
Okay. And then lalagay ko rin yung phone number and then your website address either in the comments or the description of the video. I'll make revisions to it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hopefully this is not the last time that we will have this live streaming and more to follow.
Sure.
Hopefully we can help more of our fellow Filipino kababayans, not just in Chicago, at least Chicagoland for me, but as you get licensed in other states, hopefully you can help our fellow kababayans as well in other states. So thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you, Bobby, for having me.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye now.